Hello and welcome to our special Desert Storm India versus Pakistan. It has been an uneasy build-up to this encounter. Remember, India versus Pakistan is never a straightforward game. There's plenty of context considering the history that the two teams and the two countries share. But this time, as I said, it's been an even bit more awkward considering what happened at the border between these two countries the last few months. But we are just moments away from that big game, moments away from the toss. We'll have all the latest updates right here on India Today, and we are joined by two very special guests. To my left is Harbhajan Singh, a hero of many India-Pakistan encounters and a legend in Sunil Gavaskar, who joins us live from ground zero from Dubai to tell us what is really happening at the moment. We'll also look at all the political repercussions that have come about on this encounter. But let me start with you, Sai Bhai, on this one. You are our man on the ground. Firstly, tell us, what have you observed so far? I mean, because there were calls of boycott. Have there enough people that have turned up to the stadium? Is it feeling like an India-Pakistan encounter?
No, not at all. In fact, at the stadium, there's only the catering staff, and that's about it. I think there probably are maybe 100 people in the stands, and even down from here where you see people coming in or the cars coming in, there doesn't seem to be any rush at all. You can see maybe half a dozen people over there. So it looks as if not too many people are going to be there at the ground. But then again, it's another hour and a half or 2 hours to go before the first ball is bowled. So you never know. There might be some more people coming in. But it certainly doesn't have the same buzz as the India-Pakistan matches.
All right, so that's the first sign there that boycott threat is real. Not too many people turning up for an India-Pakistan encounter, and that is rather unusual. But Sai, also tell us, I'm sure you must have had a look at the pitch. I don't know if you've had it up close or at least from afar, but tell us what's it's looking like there.
No, I haven't had a look at the pitch. I've come straight to the com box, and so I haven't seen the pitch, but I don't think the pitch will be any different than what we have usually seen in Dubai. If anything, it might, because of the weather being very, very hot, it might actually be on the slower side with the ball maybe gripping just a little bit. During the Champions Trophy, there was just a little bit in it for the quicker bowlers, but not. Okay. I don't think it will be the case over here, considering the massive heat that has been there since the month of April, May. It really has been hot down here, so I'm told.
Okay, Harbhajan with us in studio. We've heard it from Mr. Gavaskar, not the usual buzz. What does that do? Does that take pressure off the players, or it doesn't matter how many people turn up because it's an India-Pakistan game, the pressure will always be there?
Well, pressure will always be there because not to forget, if people are there or not, but expectations are huge whenever Team India goes on to the park. There will be pressure. Not just because a lot of people watches it, but also Team India is the superior side. They look a more team which can dominate the tournament. Expectations are quite a lot on them. So pressure obviously is on Team India to win the game. And whereas on the other side, Pakistan have come with the new side. Hardly anyone knows their names. So even if they lose, they don't really have pressure. So pressure will be there on Team India, but they have got quality players with Bumrah to Hardik Pandya to, if I count all the names, everyone is match winner in Indian team setup. So I believe they have the game in their hand. If they put their act together, even if they play up to 60–70% of their potential, they'll go on to win this game.
So you heard Harbhajan here, very interesting take. He says that because India start as the favourites, because India is expected to win, probably a little bit more pressure on the Indian team, because from the Pakistan side, if they were to lose, that would be a regular matter. For India to lose, maybe pressure a little bit more?
Look, when you play for India against anybody, there's pressure. But obviously, because of all the circumstances between India and Pakistan over the years, there is a little more pressure when India plays Pakistan. And so, yes, because the Indian players are a lot more known than some of the Pakistani players. So the pressure will obviously be on the known players and not so much on the unknown players. So this is an opportunity for some of the Pakistani players to make a name for themselves. If they perform well, they'll be not only known in Pakistan, but all over the world. Because look, India are the current T20 world champions. So anybody, whether it is from UAE, from Oman, or whichever team that plays in the Asia Cup against India, anybody who does well against India will certainly be a lot better known than he is otherwise.
Okay, we'll take a couple more questions with Mr. Gavaskar because he has to go. We'll have Harbhajan with us in the studio as we build up to that encounter. Saibhai, one other thing that you noticed between the two teams, Pakistan has been playing regular T20I cricket. We saw them play a T20I series recently in similar conditions. India, on the other hand, are playing after a big gap, a 7-month gap. I know they played versus UAE, but it's the first big T20I game that India is playing in a long time. Does that have any impact on the game?
No, not really. Though, of course, for Pakistan, having just played a tri-series, they'll be in the flow, they'll be in the rhythm. But India has got, far too much class. I don't think, the gap will make a difference. If anything, for some of the players, it would be just a refreshing change because they've had a break. Those who were part of the Test series in England, for them, the 1 month would have been a nice break, and they'll be raring to go because this is the start of a new domestic international season for India, and so they'll be raring to go.
Okay. Also, just looking at the team combination that India might go in with, looks like they just play that one out-and-out fast bowler. Must not be easy for India then to leave a player like Arshdeep Singh out, who has been your highest wicket taker in T20Is. Sunny bhai?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was looking at India's combination, and it does seem like most likely they will go in with just that one fast bowler in Jasprit Bumrah with a backup of Hardik Pandya. May not be an easy call to leave someone like an Arshdeep Singh out, who's been your highest wicket taker in T20Is.
I think what they'll be looking for is to slow the pace down. What happens in limited overs cricket is batters looking for pace off the pitch, so they can use the pace off the pitch to get under the ball and hit it out of the ground. And so clearly, I think that is something which a lot of captains will have given a lot of thought to. And so slow the pace down off the surface. And that is the reason why only maybe Bumrah will be picked even for this game. We saw Bumrah and Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya is a classy bowler, classy all-rounder. So maybe that will be the opening bowling attack. And apart from that, they will play the other 4 spinners.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Mr. Gavaskar, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast here on India Today. Of course, he will be live on our sister channel, Aaj Tak, if you want more analysis from Mr. Gavaskar. But Harbhajan Singh continues to be alongside me. Harbhajan, you mentioned at the start that whenever it's India-Pakistan game, there is always pressure. What would you do in your times to isolate that pressure so that you know there are expectations, but when you go out, you're able to give your best?
Well, those scenarios were different. Today's scenario is obviously different, and but whatever it may be, as a player, you need to obviously focus on the game and to make sure we put our right foot in the ground and get the right result for our nation. As simple as that, and to be focused and concentrate on your job. That's what, as a player you can do. Apart from that, I think it's a mental game always. Whoever keeps that mental edge, over the other players, they come at top. And mostly it's India, in big clashes, have that mental edge. And performance-wise, obviously, you have seen most of number of time, India have beaten Pakistan. So, in such situation, I'll say to the players, just focus on the game. And try to do whatever you can to get the right result for your nation. Simple as that.
Okay, we're going to break down the game for you. We're going to look at, what should be India's ideal playing 11, the combination of India versus Pakistan. Is it going to be the better spinners that will decide the result of this game? All of that coming up. But let's take a closer look at what's really happening on the ground. Now, for far too long, the 14th of September has been on the minds of the Indian populace. It isn't a day of political or historical significance for the people of the country, but Indians have been mindful of the day nonetheless. ever since the Asian Cricket Council announced the schedule for the 2025 edition of the Asia Cup. 14th of September oddly struck the people of the country. The match will take place at the Dubai International Stadium, but it's a match that will be played amidst unease, discomfort and displeasure. A match that is usually met with great fervor in a nation like ours that loves its cricket more than anything else is witnessing a mix of emotions. People came together in Lucknow and Kolkata to pray for the Indian team in today's marquee match, but on the sidelines, multiple protests and processions calling out the government and the BCCI are also a reality. From Jammu to the national capital, protests have swept large parts of the country. Political parties are up in arms against the government for paving the way for the match to take place. The government stance of India following the international sports code and playing Pakistan only in multilateral tournaments has not gone down well with parties like Shiv, Sena, UBT and the Aadmi party, to name a few. TVs have been broken and effigies are being burnt to send a message to the powers that dictate cricket in this country.
अरे बहादुरी दिखाओ, एक तुम नहीं खेल सकते, तुम किसकी आंख में आंख डाल रहे हो? अरे हम हर चीज कुर्बान करने को तैयार है, मगर तुम्हारे सामने सर कभी नहीं झुकाएंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला। हम अपनी इज्जत का सौदा नहीं करेंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला। पाकिस्तान से क्रिकेट मैच खेल रहे हैं, अगर तुम्हारी बेटी मर जाती तो तुम खेलते? तुम्हारी 4 दिन की बेटी जिसके हाथ की मेहंदी नहीं उतरी, अगर वो मर जाती तो तुम क्रिकेट मैच खेलते? हम पूछना चाह रहे हैं भारत के वजीर आजम से, जब आपने कहा कि खून और पानी नहीं एक साथ जा सकता, बातचीत और आतंकवाद नहीं हो सकती, एक क्रिकेट मैच में कितने पैसे आएंगे बीसीसीआई को? 2000 करोड़, 3000 करोड़? ये 26 हमारे भारत के नागरिक की जान की कीमत बढ़ के है या पैसे बढ़ के? हमको बताओ.
मला वाटतं भारत पाकिस्तान मॅच बद्दल आम्ही गेले 1-1.5 महिने हाच प्रश्न विचारत आहे की सरकार, केंद्र सरकार गप्प का आहे? जगभरात खासदारांचे डेलिगेशन्स पाठवले, विरोधी पक्षाचे खासदार त्याच्यात होते. ऑपरेशन सिंदूर कसं झालं, ह्याच्या मागे पाकिस्तान कसं आहे, ह्याच्या मागे चायना कसं आहे, आपण जगाला सांगत गेलो. पण कदाचित दुर्दैव हे आहे की आज जी खरी भाजपा होती ती सत्तेत नाही आहे. भाजपाने आयडियोलॉजी आपली बदललेली आहे, विचारधारा बदललेली आहे, हे आज दिसायला लागलेलं आहे. हे दुर्दैव आहे देशाचं. आज जर खरी भाजपा असती सत्तेत तर आज बीसीसीआयला प्रश्न विचारला असता की तुम्ही हिम्मतच कशी करता पाकड्यांबरोबर खेळण्याची. पण आज बीसीसीआय पैशांची लालच दाखवून आपण पाहतोय ज्या देशांनी आपल्या देशावर हमला केला, आपल्या बांधवांनी तिथे मारून टाकलं, सिंदूर पुसलं, जे ऑपरेशन सिंदूर कदाचित भाजपा बिहारमध्ये निवडणुकीसाठी वापरेल, त्याच पाकड्यांबरोबर आज बीसीसीआय क्रिकेट खेळत आहे. हे दुर्दैव आहे देशाचं.
And maybe this isn't an issue that the common man can brush aside, calling it political drama. The calls for boycott of the match have been louder than anything else. And it's not just limited to this particular match. Some fans have even gone ahead and said that they won't be watching the entire tournament. Now, while the BCCI has said that it is only following orders of the government, those representing the voice of the people feel that not playing against Pakistan in major competitions only helps the enemy and destroys the future of Indian athletes.
हमें तो ऐसा लगता है कि 22 अप्रैल को जो जघन्य नरसंहार हुआ उसको इन लोगों द्वारा भुला दिया गया है, बीसीसीआई द्वारा भुला दिया गया है. ओलंपिक सरीखी बड़ी स्पर्धाओं का बहिष्कार कर सकते हैं, तो क्या हमारा देश इस छोटी सी प्रतिस्पर्धा का बहिष्कार नहीं कर सकता? ये मात्र धन के लालच में और पैसा कमाने के लिए आयोजन किया जा रहा है. पैसे के सामने इस देश के निर्दोष नागरिकों का, इस देश के सैनिकों की शहादत का कोई मूल्य नहीं रह गया है.
इस मैच के बाद सबसे बड़ी तस्वीर तो ये होगी कि पाकिस्तान के पास वापस पैसा होगा, पाकिस्तान वापस से खड़ा होगा, पाकिस्तान के उन जो ठिकाने हम ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के समय तोड़े गए थे वो वापस बनेंगे. सबसे बड़ा तस्वीर ये होगी और ये सबसे बड़ा तमाचा होगा उन 26 फैमिली को जो पाकिस्तान देगा कि लो तुमने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर किया था, फिर से तुम लोग आ रहे, तुम्हारे लोग आके मैच खेले, हम वापस पावरफुल बन गए, हम वापस टेररिज्म खड़ा करेंगे और कल को फिर दूसरा पहलगाम करेंगे। बदलाव अगर लाना था ना तो बदलाव ये लाना था कि हम पाकिस्तान के साथ मैच नहीं खेलेंगे, हम एशिया वर्ल्ड कप में नहीं जुड़ेंगे अगर हमें पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट खेलना पड़ा तो।
मल्टीनेशनल टूर्नामेंट जहां पर एसीसी या आईसीसी करवाती है, वहां पे किसी भी देश के लिए मजबूरी या जरूरी हो जाता है भाग लेना। अगर वो नहीं लेंगे तो टूर्नामेंट से बाहर हो जाएंगे, उस मैच को छोड़ना पड़ेगा, तो वैसे दूसरी टीम को उसके पॉइंट्स भी मिल जाएंगे। तो इसकी बजाय जो आपकी प्रतिबद्धता है, चाहे कोई भी खेल है, उसमें मल्टीनेशनल टूर्नामेंट में आपको खेलना ही पड़ता है। लेकिन बायलैटरल टूर्नामेंट भारत पाकिस्तान के साथ नहीं खेलता।
पाकिस्तान और भारत के बीच में कोई भारतवासी मैच नहीं चाहता है, लेकिन जब अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मैच होते हैं जिसमें कई देश हिस्सा लेते हैं और अगर हमें विश्व प्रतियोगिता का हिस्सा बने रहना है तो उसमें मजबूरी में इसका हिस्सा ज़रूर बनना पड़ा है। लेकिन एक व्यवस्था बनी है कि विश्व कप होगा या अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर के कोई मैच होंगे उसमें हिस्सा लेंगे। लेकिन अगर भारत पाकिस्तान के बीच में कोई सीरीज सीधे नहीं होगी, और इसमें जो सवाल उठा रहे हैं वो स्वयं समाजवादी पार्टी सवाल उठा रही है, आतंकवादियों के मुकदमे वापस लेने वाले, पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद का नारा लगाने वालों को अपने पार्टी में शामिल करने वाले, ये सब लोगों का जो बयानबाजी है वो गैर जिम्मेदाराना है। और जब देश
Now, there is no doubt that Indian cricket finds itself in a difficult place right now. The sentiment of the nation cannot be ignored, but it can also not forget the practicality of the sporting world. Sport is meant to bring peace to the society, but sport can also have its hands tied at times.
The thing is, it's a world sporting body, so you'll have to they'll have to abide by those rules and regulations, because there's a lot of other sports and a lot of athletes, a lot of people who are involved in it. As Indians, I think that is our personal call that we have to take, whether we want to see it, whether we don't want to see it, whether we want to go or not go, and that's a call India has to take. But you cannot blame cricketers for playing, because they are sportsmen. They are expected to represent the country. So I think that's a call we have to take. If I'm not going to see it, I'm not going to see it. So it's for you to decide what each one of you want to do.
Well, games should be left to us, games, and I think politics should not enter to the games. But unfortunately, that's not the case now. But I would leave that decision to young people of our country. Yeah. If they want to game, nobody should stop them. Games is something that unites people from all over the world, and the players are not politicians. They are not, they are free. We should think beyond conflict.
All right, Harbhajan Singh with us in the studio. Harbhajan, now, if you were to look at this game, and one narrative is that this is not a rivalry. India is far ahead of Pakistan at the moment. Do you also see it like that? And if it is, how would you divide the percentage, if I was to ask you? Does it look like 90-10, 80-20? What is it looking like to you in reality?
Well, if India plays to their potential, I think it is 90-10. Wow. That's what, it doesn't matter whether they win the toss or lose the toss, bat first, bat second, it doesn't matter. Because India is obviously a very, very strong team. They have got match winners in every department: bowling, batting, fielding, and even, of course, spin department has done really, really well. Kuldeep was brilliant. Varun is there, who's unplayable. So I think looking at the scenario of the game, both the teams, I think India is far, far stronger team than the Pakistan. And, as I said, if India plays to their potential, 60%, 70%, they'll go on to win this game.
Okay. The thing is that because Harbhajan says that India is so far ahead of Pakistan, sometimes problem of plenty is not great. Why I say that? Because sometimes you have to leave out some very good players on the bench. I asked Mr. Gavaskar that. Arshdeep Singh, any team would feel themselves very lucky if he was in any other country. He would have 100% played. But India has such good players. Would you make any changes to this playing 11, or he sits out once again?
Well, I think Arshdeep Singh can come in for, maybe you leave out one of the spinner if you want to leave out because
There's
see,
Varun, Kuldeep, Akshar.
I mean, you are batting till 7. You know, that's more than enough for 20 overs. And I think if at all I was part of the management, I would say that you know it's harsh on Akshar, but you know you leave out probably Akshar for this game and bring Arshdeep, so you get your fast bowling also as strong as your spin department is, and also you have 7 batters who can done the job. So that's the only change I would see, you know, can happen in this game. But even if that doesn't happen, Hardik Pandya, who can bowl his quota of over, he's someone who could bowl 130 or 140 kind of a speed, and he's one of those guys who regularly picked wickets. So spinners have done well.
Yes.
So let's see whether there'll be any change or not. But you know, Arshdeep, if we get to see him today, it'll be, I think, even more beneficial for Team
Okay,
India.
so that's a very interesting selection call from Harbhajan Singh. He would have Arshdeep Singh come into the 11 in place of Akshar Patel. He believes batting till number 7 is good enough for this Indian team. Let's take a look at the Pakistan team. Now, it's a youngish team. No Babar Azam, no Rizwan, 2 of their senior players. Does that work in Pakistan's favor, that you are going with a young team which will probably not have too many expectations? Or do you think it works against them because they may not have the experience then to play very good against a tough team?
Even with those experienced players, you know, they hardly got the results. So, you know, young team is there and they have got nothing to lose. I think they will go with the flow and look to do whatever best they can do to put up the right performance. You know, and to be honest, I think sometimes it's a blessing in disguise that when there are no expectations. On the other side, Team India need to play their best cricket, you know, because the pressure, as I said, is always going to be on the top team, which is India in this competition.
We were talking about 2 big names missing from the Pakistan squad, Indian team. And the one name that comes to your mind is that of Virat Kohli. And I take his name only. There are a few other senior players that are missing, because every time it was Pakistan, this man would stand up. I was looking at his record. I think out of 20 odd games he's played against Pakistan, half of them he's been man of the match. So it's something against Pakistan, he's always good. How would Pakistan view this? Do you think they'll be like, okay, this Indian team, we could always fight with them, but that one man, Virat Kohli, would take the game away from us. This time he's not there.
Well, obviously, you know, when you don't have Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, you know, even for that matter, I think the opponents always think that, you know, those key players are not there. But not to forget, India have won the World Cup. You know, definitely Virat performed in the final, but there were other factors as well. They had done well to win that game. So I think there will be bit less pressure on the Pakistanis because they will feel little ease that Virat is not there, Rohit is not there. But at the same time, they must not forget there are other 11 people who can win games on their day. So I think they should be mindful of that there is Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, Shubman Gill, and Abhishek, and many other who can win game on their own.
Okay, since you talk about India has many match winners, I'm going to ask you a very tough question. If you were to pick one ace in the pack, Trup Kaikka for India on this day, if you had to predict, who are you going to go with?
I'll go with Abhishek Sharma.
Why is that? What is it that you think tells you that he'd be the guy?
Well, if he bats first 6-7 overs, that means India is, you know, flying. So because that's the way he bats. You know, if he bats 6 overs, normally you see his team scores 70-80. So that's why I'm choosing him. You know, I'm hoping that he'll come good today and India start on the flying note.
Abhishek Sharma is always very, very dangerous when it comes to giving India a start. And in fact, this Indian team boasts of many players that have got a strike rate of over 170 plus. If I was to look at just one area of concern, you said India is so good, nothing to worry. Does toss play a major role here? Because I was watching the tri-series that happened. Afghanistan, Pakistan was there in that UAE also. Every team, and that was in Sharjah. But every team that was batting first was winning. Sharjah and Dubai are not too far away. Is it going to be like that, or do you think no?
Well, it might be a little factor because you know, conditions are such. It's very hot and humid out there. Wicket is obviously going to get slower as the game will progress. Batting second will be slightly tougher, but you know, looking at the teams, I think India is a very, very strong team. They'll be able to put up a right show. The only thing which can probably they need to be worried of that don't get stuck into something which is happening outside the ground.
Yes.
So just stay focused and do the job. If you focus on the game, I think India will get the right results.
That is the way to go about it. We heard actually from the Indian camp as well on the eve of the game. Ryan Deshkate had come and he has said the one message that coach Gautam Gambhir has given the rest of the team: don't worry about what's happening outside. Shut out the outside noise. Focus on the cricket. And anytime that this Indian team does that, we've seen that they have come out trumps on the given day. Harbhajan Singh, thank you so much for taking our time, helping us build up to that big India versus Pakistan encounter. But ahead of this India-Pakistan clash in the Asia Cup, India's assistant coach Ryan Deshkate, as I said, had a thing to say. Let's listen in.
Yes, I think it will. It's obviously a very sensitive issue, and I've got no doubt the players share the compassion and the feeling of a vast majority of the Indian public. Look, the Asia Cup was in limbo for a long period of time, and we were just waiting. We didn't think we were going to be coming at one stage, but obviously you know what the Indian government stance is in it, and now the team and particularly the players, you have to put those sentiments and the emotions behind you, and it's actually something we addressed in the team meeting today. So we're aware of people's feelings, but at the same time we've got to guard, and the guys get a chance to play for their country again tomorrow, and they'll be as professional and as focused as they can be given the circumstances. The waiting period of knowing whether this was going to happen was probably the most frustrating part, and once we knew we were going to be here and playing, we've tried to get on with the business of it. This game particularly we haven't prepared differently, like I said earlier, but we obviously are aware of the sentiments and the strong feelings, and Gati's message has just been sort of very professional about not worrying about things that are not in our control, and just trying to be emotionless when approaching the cricket side of things. And the guys are professional enough now. I'm sure individuals have different levels of feeling on the spectrum of where they feel the whole situation is. But the messaging has been to just focus on the cricket and just focus on the one game tomorrow.
Okay, we've heard from the Indian camp on the eve of the encounter, but now we're moments away from the toss of India versus Pakistan, the game taking place in Dubai International Stadium.